are live here with Mr. MG Michael.
Hello.
And the goal is to share what he looked for. Hi there.
I'm ready.
And what he looked for internet dating profiles on those of us over 50, over 60, over 70. And I think it's interesting because a lot of people say, oh, they just look at the pictures. Yeah, you should have some pictures, and he's going to talk about that. But you also have to be truthful, and you have to be interesting. And everybody can be interesting. So I'm going to let Michael take it away.
Hello, nice to meet you. I think that there's a lot to say, and I'm only going to cover a little bit here. And in addition to that, it's just my point of view, just what I've seen. I'm 70 years old, and it's been a challenge. The last time I actually dated in bars and things, I was 37 years old. And so this is a whole different world. And so I was married to an angel for 31 years. She passed away 2.5 years ago. And I've been dating online for the last year and a half, and I've dated about 15 women. I've talked to a lot more than that. So here's kind of the things that got my attention. You have to have some good photos, and it's not that, and they need to be current, but here's one of the things I don't like. One photo, you don't have any confidence. You're not trying. You're not trying to get anybody's attention. When I see 20 photographs, it really helps because you see them, of course, over a period of time, but some of them are current, and you can see the person's life a little bit better. So that helps. I think I had 6 or 7 photographs on mine. I think that there's a lot that has to do with how you do your wording and how you present yourself. When you sound like the other 25 people that they read on the other profiles, I like outdoors, I like music, I like, going hiking and kayaking, and please get a hold of me. There's nothing there. There's no spark. I particularly was intrigued with talent, is what I was looking for. There's so much talent oozing out of Dutcher. It was amazing. That's really got my attention a lot. I think the wording is extremely important in that. Tell me a little bit about you. Intrigue me a little bit about you. Do something intellectually to kind of wake me up and get my attention a little bit. So once you're chatting with somebody, and once you've gotten somebody's attention and you've done something, it was easy for Deb and I a little bit because we both have sales and advertising and marketing backgrounds. We know how to qualify, present, and close. We know how to, deal with all that. A lot of people don't. So you need to sell yourself. You need to present yourself in the most fun and entertaining way you can. It doesn't have to go wild. Don't speak on forever. You're there. I've read some profiles. I now know everything in the world about that person. I no longer need to meet them. So, it needs to be fun. It needs to be entertaining. I specifically look for talent, and let me talk about that a little bit. I was blessed to be in the bar business for 37 years. I estimate I've met about 3.5 million people. And I swear to you, of all of those, I have never met the human being that doesn't have talent. They've got something special about them. Promote that. Bring that out. No matter who you are, no matter what your situation, no matter tall, short, whatever your story is, there's somebody out there looking for that. There's somebody out intrigued with that. You need to engage. Now, once you've got a little bit of, you've gotten past the first things, the photographs is good, the profile, oh, kind of interesting. Oh, there's some talent there. Maybe I should make the first move, say hello, send some kind of comment, something short and quick and entertaining, to see if you can just flat get their attention. And once they respond, keep the conversation going. Don't let it fall. Don't let it just drop. When I'm dealing with ladies and they don't follow up and I'm not getting any response in a week or more or whatever's going on, I'm done. You move on next. And so that's a process of engaging. And engaging how? Whatever's fun to you. And the purpose of that engaging part, I thought, was one of the most important parts, because you're going to find that you have some interest in this person, or they're intriguing, or you have things in common, which is really a beautiful thing. That's what I was largely looking for. I was looking for a photographer. No, she's not a photographer, but that's the kind of stuff you do to find out what's going on. Deb and I have an immense amount in common. We found that out, oddly enough, by going slow. And it's a whole different story. We've talked about that. And so there are many things involved. I think that the most important part is to not be afraid. I think that this is about taking a step, about going out there and doing something so that you can meet somebody intriguing. You have to be a little bit intriguing to intrigue somebody else, to get their attention, to get their spark going, and get the conversation going back and forth, and then move on to a phone call and maybe a coffee somewhere. But, you know, you've got to have some spark, something to reach out. Don't be afraid. There is literally, I was in sales longer than should be legally allowable, and there is somebody for everybody. There is I won't go there. And so it's a lot of fun. And so just, you need to put out some energy. It's very good to be the person that maybe knocks on the other person's door and says hello. Why? Because you're attracted to them one way or another. Don't be afraid. Reach out. It's easy enough to just turn them off and say goodbye. It's not a big deal, you know. And so, but that'll lead to something very, very positive, which of course is what we're trying to do. So.
And I knocked on his door first because he had a cute profile. He had this Stetson on, and he was kind of like three-quarter view with this twinkle in the eye and a little grin. He looked very rakish and fun. And he talked about things that I was interested in. And people asked if he could give some of his background and why he became single. So I'm going to let him do that now because I think it's important for people to know what you're looking for.
I have an extremely unusual background. I'm not getting deeply into it. It's so diverse, it's shocking. Mostly I was in the hospitality business, I was in the bar business. And so it's easy for me to talk to people. It's easy for me to have a rapport and go on. That was a very, very comfortable life. And then I retired a long time ago, 13 years ago, and was very, very comfortable with a great relationship with an extraordinary woman. And then she passed away one day unexpectedly. Shocked me, was in depression for a year. Then I had to get out of it. I had to reach out. I had to do something to stand up and get out of my negative life and reach out. You have to reach out. You have to push yourself to do that.
So he's a widower and had been widowed over 2 years. One of the criteria I was looking for. I am divorced, twice divorced, and I thought I'm more comfortable with widowers because they're comfortable with a woman who kind of knows who she is and what she wants, and there isn't a lot of tension going on. And one of the things he said that I want him to speak to is, you don't try to replace a great love. You don't try to look for the same thing again. And I think that was important because I'm definitely not like his wife.
That's all about having an extremely open mind. I was lucky because I actually did that. I realized that there's not a chance in heck that I was going to meet another lady like the lady I had. And as great as that relationship was, why not have a nice move on to something new and interesting? But that happens by completely opening your mind, completely opening your heart to paying attention to what positive things are coming by, what opportunities you have, and then just trying to see where that goes without really expecting it to go this way or that way, so that you can be quite open to it. And literally, folks, that's what happened with Deb and I. We are opposites attracting. This is not the definition of somebody I had in mind, but I'm just fascinated with this person. She's extraordinary. And you won't find that out until you knock on somebody's door and say hi and stretch outside of your comfort zone a little bit.
And so someone else asked if you had a specific type you were looking for, height, weight, age.
I, oddly enough, was looking for talent. I'm blessed with a handful of talents, and I'm frankly bored with people that don't have talent. And so I like talent. I'm fascinated with the intellect of it, with the art, mostly art and music and other sort of things. And so that was my interest. But you have to find out what your interests are. And there's somebody out there, A, that has similar interests, or B, why not find some new and different talents to get engaged with? Isn't that a hoot? That'd be nice.
That was part of what I was looking for. I had a bunch of activities and I didn't want to do them alone, and so I would throw it out there. We ended up at a museum on our first date because I invited him, because I wanted to go to a museum, and I thought, well, what the heck, invite somebody to go with me.
Now, what could go wrong with a lady who wants to go to a museum, folks? That's different than coffee at McDonald's, you know what I mean?
Or Starbucks.
So it was a very, very nice way to start. Then we went to this beautiful dinner, and we haven't stopped going out since,
So anybody have any questions? And someone says we're breaking up. Can't do anything about it, babe. This is my internet and we're on mics. So I know there were a lot of people who were giving me feedback on some of our prior presentations, I'll call them go lives or little videos. And we feel pretty lucky that we were able to attract each other, because I want him to talk about some of the dates he did go on prior to me, because we have gone exclusive. We're a committed exclusive couple, 69, 70. Everyone always wants to know how old we are. And we still have a ton of energy, and we're committed to living long, healthy, fun, fruitful lives. So we wanted to meet someone like that. I didn't want to just sit home and watch movies. I want to do lots of different things while I still can.
Here's something that just kind of puts a fork in the whole thing and stops the whole thing from moving forward. If you're not honest, if you're not presenting proper photographs that actually look like you currently, or your background, or who you are, I want to tell one story. This was a very nice lady. This was an intelligent lady. This was a rather intriguing lady. And from the neck up, she looked great, and those were the only photographs she had. When I met this lady, she was over 300 pounds. Now, I'm not knocking about that. I'm not particularly attracted to it, but it was a shock, and it's very difficult to go through finding things out like that when you're not being straightforward and honest. And she literally asked me afterwards, and she texted me and asked me what advice I could give her to why it wasn't working out. And I didn't even have the heart to get really deeply into it. I just said, there's somebody out there, keep kissing frogs, you'll find one. But you must be honest and straightforward, folks, because how else, that's the first impression somebody's going to get. And it needs to be straightforward and decent, and something that they can grab onto it that's honest. So.
And so, and I had guys who did the same thing.
Yes, it happens.
And I had a requirement. I didn't care if someone wasn't in perfect shape. I'm a health coach. I can help you. But if you have a great personality and you're smart and you have interesting things you want to do, and you're willing to take some health issues, tackle them and change, then I'm open. So, but I do work with gals who want to date, and they'd rather lose weight first, and I understand that. So do what you need to do to feel comfortable, but if you want to date and you're beyond the weight you want to be, don't give up on it, because there's guys out there that like padding. They like, comfort to grab onto. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm skinny and bony.
If you're a senior and you're dating, you're going to have all kinds of concerns and issues because of the problems you have. And yet the other person doesn't know those problems yet. And you're a little nervous about engaging in all the life. I would just go ahead and step forward. I wanted to talk about this. One of the nice things about dating online before you actually meet the person is you get to filter people out. Politics, religion, specific kinds of perhaps employment or jobs or thoughts or theories. It's really, I think that online dating is an amazing thing. Imagine walking into a bar and you could see all the profiles of everybody in the bar, so you know a lot about them before you even walk up and say hello. The filtering out process for the online dating is an extraordinary thing. Use it, pay attention to that, and also use your own profile to put out what you want other people to see. So.
I was really specific in my profile. I basically said, if you're a couch potato, don't contact me. If you don't like big hairy dogs, don't contact me. If you don't want an outspoken female, don't contact me. I'm not sure I did that in the profile he saw, but I did date a couple guys off a different site, and I was extremely straightforward because I felt at my age I didn't have a lot of time to waste. I didn't want to be connecting with people. So what's a good dating website for 50s? I liked Silver Singles. That's where he and I met. eHarmony was good. Zeus can be good. I think you got to move around. I think you got to try different ones. What caught your eye with Deborah? What caught your eye with me?
Everything. Cute, full energy. I have to say, of all I like many, many things about her, but I've known her for a while now. It was the energy. This woman has an energy level that knocks out, 5 people can't keep up with the energy this person has. She walks into a room, she lights it up. She just knows what to do. She's just built that way. I think she was born that way. And so that got my attention a lot. And then via the conversation of all that energy, we found out we had a lot in common. So.
And so, you might not be at the level I am. I have been the Energizer Bunny for a very long time. He says I'm the trainer for the Energizer Bunny, which is great. So someone wants to know, what is your recommendation for me? I'm 42. So I didn't have to get on dating sites till I was 51 the first time around. I think I used Match.com and something close to Chemistry.com. They don't exist anymore. I think you have to just kind of go out there and give them a shot. Like, I only hung out on any specific site, max 6 weeks to 2 months, because if you can't catch someone's eye in that amount of time, you need to recraft your profile. If you see someone you like, or a couple of someones you like, and you contact them and you get nothing back, then either they're off, traveling or whatever, but, you kind of got to move off that site and try a new one. I think I've watched too much Dateline. Kind of scares me. I get that. I don't watch news and I don't watch Dateline. I'm living in a bubble, and I choose to do that right now.
To not date, to not talk to people, to not try to meet somebody new. I find it very, very difficult to think about walking into bars and trying to pick up women at the age of 70. First of all, there's no 70-year-old women in there. Think about it.
I don't go to bars.
So this is the process. This is a modern way to go. And it requires you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Even for highly experienced people that know how to speak and deal with lots of people, and they've dated a lot of people, it's still nervous. It's still a little difficult. It still requires that you get yourself off the couch and take a step. And I would say that's the most important thing of all this, is don't be afraid. There is somebody for you. There's somebody for everybody, and I'm absolutely certain of that.
But because of things like Dateline, so what are the precautions you can take? So, for instance, I met him at a museum. How much more public can that get? We went to a restaurant a block away. And you also kind of have to use your gut instinct, and you have to let friends and family know you're going out on a date. I actually think this is a great idea. Someone sent it to me. While you're sitting across from that person, take a picture. Get them on your phone. Send it to your friends and family. Here's who I'm with tonight,
It's so much easier for guys. I didn't have to do any of that. I just go out with her.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do that. But so I understand that fear factor, and I just kind of put it aside because I was tired of being alone. You get divorced at 68, and you're like, oh my God, I got like 4 years left. So I better get out there and figure out what I'm going to do next. And there's some really nice guys. I went out with lots of nice guys.
It also has to do with luck. There's a part of this that's all about the luck. Now, you create luck by, if you kiss 3 frogs, or if you kiss 30 frogs, guess which one, where your best chance of getting lucky? You need to talk to a handful of people. Get a cat.
He has a cat. I have a dog. Trust me, you need a human in there somewhere. It's a lot more fun with a human. 2 months may not be long enough for some people. I get hit on the minute I get on a site. 2 weeks later, I've accumulated 15 people that I'm talking to, sending winks and smiles and texts and whatever. You can only handle so much at one time. And then I'll narrow it down, and I'll go out with like 4 or 5 of them, and then I'll narrow that down. So dating as a senior is challenging. I'm 65 and dating the same fellow for 4 years, going nowhere. Well, we don't care if it goes nowhere. We're just having fun and enjoying each other. And I think part of the issue is, what is your goals? What do you want to have happen? If you had hoped for a long-term committed relationship, that's a discussion that has to take place. If you can accept the fact that maybe they're not ready, then it's all up to you. It's very individual. What sites do you suggest? Got lots of dates off Zoosk, got a lot of hits off eHarmony, found Mr. MG on Silver Singles. I was dating a couple guys on Silver Singles, and then we hooked up, and it was like, we were going slow, and it was such a pleasant change that I really got to know him. And I'm thinking, okay, this is a real human being that I can actually take my time, and I don't have to play the game. And
I found some ladies on Match. It worked out. There were some good people there.
I got off Match. I haven't done that one since my 50s, probably. Are you hoping to remarry?
We don't know.
Never say never.
One of the things about being a senior, I'm 70, she's 69. There are complications in the past from assets. There's Social Security.
Yeah.
There's children. That goes on and on. I think you would never say never because that's just the way it is. Currently, we're so jazzed just to be sitting next to each other on a couch. That's just fine. We are looking at each other long term, and so at the moment we're comfortable, and you have to figure it out for yourself. You going through my living trust from the past with the ex-kids is going to be a real trick, So.
And I had decided not to remarry, but never say never. There would have to be like compelling reasons because we can be faithful. He was faithful for a long time before he married his first wife. So they were together a very long time and they weren't married for all of it. And when you find a person who can make that kind of commitment without having to have the legal binding contract, that's pretty heavy duty in my book.
I was together with my wife for 31 years, and we didn't get married until we had been together for 22 years. So.
By then, we might not be here.
Yeah, I can't do that again.
Let's see, any other questions? Okay, so I think the main thing that I want to convey is you're not trying to create the perfect person or the perfect profile. What you're trying to do is describe who you are and what you want. And the right people, we feel, the right people will connect with that, whether it's a guy or a gal. And they are out there for you. And you do have to kiss a lot of frogs. So, the Dateline thing, just carry the pepper spray, carry the mace, carry the really loud, I have all kinds of things, alarms, that you can just blast somebody with. But I never had to use one. See, he's got it. I didn't even know that. I just found out something. So, but if you live your life in fear, if I had lived my life in fear, look what I would have missed out on.
And me too.
That made tears come to my eyes. So I don't want you guys living your life in fear. So just make sure you create a way to stay safe. Are we both off dating sites now? Yeah, we came off a month ago?
Yeah.
About a month ago. We've known each other since December 18 when I pinged him on Silver Singles. We've met in person on December 22nd. He went out of town to visit his family and was gone 10 days, but he stayed in touch. And it was very special because of the way he stayed in touch. And
I was irritated. I didn't get to be with her on New Year's Eve so I could kiss her.
Yeah, I had my New Year's Eve toast to myself alone. I toasted all you guys. And it was cool because I wanted to be independent and I wanted to be reflective. I also wrote in the book. So I'm still trying to write a book on internet dating. I really need some profile case studies, everybody. And I'm happy to help you design that profile. It's free. Everybody keeps saying, oh, you're just trying to make money off of this. And no, I don't need money. I took care of everything. I'm fine. I want to help you guys. I want to help you find happiness. I can't tell you how happy I am. And I never thought I'd be this happy again.
It's extraordinary to feel 19 years old when you're 70 years old.
Ooh, someone's going to help me with the book.
If that would not have happened if we didn't reach out, we didn't do our profiles, we didn't respond to people, if we didn't kiss a bunch of frogs or frogettes.
Lady frogs.
It's almost like work. I find dating more difficult than actually, I find it very laborious. But what else are you going to do? We're designed to want to be with another partner, and that's just the nature of our species. And so I gave in and found her.
I'm reading a couple comments. So, Kathy, you can help me with the book. And this lady's a widow, found love again on Silver Singles, and he passed away after 1 year. I'm so sorry. But look, you at least found him, and you got to be together. And that's part of it. We can't go on in our lives afraid that if we find someone, we'll lose them, because you will have at least had them for that period of time. My first marriage is still very precious to me. That was a love that I got into at 19. And when I lost it at 51, it almost shut me down. I mean, I was in a really bad place.
I was only married once.
And he was only married once, and then I married on the rebound, a guy I met on internet dating, and I picked the wrong person, and I kept trying to make it work. So you can't stay away from the pain of love and loss, or you're just going to be alone and you're going to be sad. And so I believe you just got to get out there and you just got to take it on. And if it's too scary, then don't. But if you're bored and you're lonely, go for it. Can tell you're both very happy. Yeah, we are. We're really comfortable together, and we really like each other, and we do love each other. We have declared the love.
We are quite opposites too. I mean, This is not two people very similar on a similar path. We're on a similar path, but we are not the same at all. No. And so be quite open to that. If we had not been open to somebody quite different than ourselves, this would not have worked. And it's working unusually nice. We have found something special, so that's cool.
So anyway, I'm hoping this has been helpful. Guys are not looking for a specific age, height, weight, and if they are, you don't want them. That's how I feel. I know one woman who wrote me, and it was really an interesting concept. She did not put her picture up. We live in California, but she didn't put her picture up, and she said to the guy, if you like my profile, let me talk to you, and then I'll send you a picture. And then they got together, and they've been together for a long time. So that's one way. So life is too short not to take the risk of a relationship. Yes, completely agree. Traveling mortician.
By the way, there is no wrong way. It's the wrong way is to not do it. The wrong way is to not put up your profile. The wrong way is not to respond to people. That's the only wrong thing I can think of.
Yeah, and I feel that for me, it was critical to see the face. I have this rule. I don't get in touch with them because I ask one question. Can I wake up to that face? Because I planned to have a full relationship with all aspects. And so if I didn't feel I could wake up to that face, I wasn't going to contact them. So that was my screening process. They didn't have to be super handsome. They didn't have to be like movie star. They just had to be real and look honest and fun. And cute.
I passed on everybody that had no photo. That's a deal breaker. You're way too shy at some point because of that. Okay.
Yeah, and so internet dating is not for the shy. I'll just say that for you right there. If you're super, super, super shy, you're going to have to meet them another way. But good luck on that. In this day and age, it's just a kooky time. So yeah, internet dating requires a bit of an outgoing attitude, or cultivate an outgoing attitude. It's all about how you feel, all about what you want in your life. Okay, any more? Okay, so we're basically done. We hit 26 minutes.
Very good.
Anybody have thoughts on long distance? I won't do it.
Yeah, long distance is a killer. You think in your heart, I've gone through a handful of times that somebody 30, 40, 50 miles away was quite intriguing, quite attractive, interesting profile, great conversations, and you get there and everything just comes apart, and I don't know why, or it's difficult to hold together, or the energy and the work and the schedule and the time and the money, long distance is a problem. And so I got to the point where I wasn't interested in anybody maybe more than 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away. And I happen to live in the middle of Sacramento, so there's lots of people. But, long distance, unless you're going to buy, matching helicopters, I don't know what you're going to do.
We're 10 miles apart, and it's kind of perfect because we both have smaller homes that we're pretty well enmeshed in, and we live our own individual lives. But it's really fun because we can hang out with each other when we want to.
Anytime at all, yeah.
Yeah, and so that works for me.
Works good.
I didn't want my butt in a car. I had two boyfriends that moved over 100 miles away, and they wanted to keep it going, and I'm like, I can't. First one moved to Reno. I'm in Sacramento area. Next one moved to Oakland, and I'm just like, forget it. I left the East Bay. I don't ever want to go back there. Good luck. You know, nice guy. Bye. I mean, I had to be that way. Maybe it's callous. Oh, well, look what I got. You know, and I'm hoping they're finding their own people where they're living, because if you're young, you can make long distance work. I did it with my first marriage. We were apart for 6 months, but we were married. And finally I said to him, I don't care if you don't have a job, get your butt up here, because I'm getting hit on in every bar I go in after I play baseball. So he came up without a job. And I don't believe in long distance relationships unless the guy's in the Army or you're in the Army or something like that. A very strong person. Yeah, I am. What else? Do you plan on keeping your own homes and not cohabiting? For the moment, yeah, we've talked about it. You know, we're talking about a lot because at our age, it's good to get things out on the table and see where each other stands. And for us, everything has been very, like, we mesh. I think I talked about it as gears that mesh in one of my go lives. We're meshing.
But now there's another stage. We've been together for a couple of months and we're meshing very well. We're even going into business together. But, you know, I think personally you need to go through a year of relationships with somebody, holidays, family, other sort of things, to see all the things that are important to you, to see whether it's really, you know, whether a long-term commitment is fitting, is going to work.
Yeah. And one of the ways he won me is he told me he wanted to know me a year from now, and that was while he was traveling, and that just caught my attention. Didn't know what it meant really, but I just was like, wow. He goes, even if we're not romantic, I want to know you a year from now. And it was kind of blew my mind, made him stand out. And then, what did you tell your daughter-in-law?
Well, all of a sudden I realized in the beginning I was dealing with quite a vibrant and energized person who was out on internet dating coaching, and dating a handful of guys openly. So our entire dating, if you'll go back on all these TikTok things, is laid out on there. And so I thought, well, I think I know how to handle this one. I'm going to use the take it away clothes. I'm going to be the hard one to get.
Yeah, so he did a good job, because I was expecting the same, 3 dates, and now the guy wants to go to bed, and okay, I'm old, what the heck, let's just get it over with, and make sure it still works, right? And he says to me, I think we should go slow. And I thought, well, what does that mean? But I agreed, and then I get home, and I give him a call. I go, what does go slow mean? And he goes, well, what does it mean to you? And I'm thinking, well, the last 2 real relationships were anywhere from 6 to 9 weeks. So I'm thinking 12 weeks. So that's 90 days. So I just threw it out there. Okay, 90 days, no sex. Sex is off the table.
I was thinking 30.
But he didn't tell me that. So he says, okay, gulp, gulp, 90 days. Well, we get down the road and we're at 45, 50 days. I don't know. And I'm like, we need to renegotiate. 90 days is too long.
We like each other too much.
Yeah. So, things started happening. And I finally just said, okay, well, obviously, I'm not a 90-day girl.
Now, I had something to do with that.
Yeah, he's pretty cute and sexy, just so you know. Okay, what else? Any more questions? You guys got any more you're dying to know? La, 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 la. Lots of people just joined, but we're almost done. I will put this up on my Sexy, Lean, and Strong YouTube, because I still have not been able to figure out how TikTok reloads these. Every time I try, it's 3 minutes, and that's all you get. They say we can go to 10 minutes now, so maybe you'll get the first 10 minutes. That will be fun. But they are up on our my YouTube, Sexy, Lean, and Strong. Some of you keep cautioning me on going into business with a gentleman. I was scammed, not off the internet, by an old boyfriend who I did go into business with, but that's because he used my funding. The business partnership we're going into has nothing to do with me providing any funding, just so you guys know. It's a standalone. He owns it. It's part of an organization I've had for 20 years. He's doing great with it, and everything's good. So don't worry. What does your family feel about you guys together? Well, his family watches the TikToks, and so does my daughter.
My son is watching me dating online. And he hasn't said a thing.
Yeah, my daughter thinks it's cute, and she's upset I have more followers than she does. Okay, anything else? I think you can download this live. I know I can download it, but I don't know how to get it back up on TikTok anyway. But I downloaded it and I put it on my YouTube, which is Sexy, Lean, and Strong. You have to Google Deb Dutcher, YouTube, Sexy, Lean, and Strong, because it's not a very popular YouTube. So I compete with a whole bunch of people, but I've had it for years for my book. What's the best time frame? I missed that one. How do I see it? What is the best time frame to wait? To wait to date?
It's up to you.
Oh, to wait before you have sex with someone?
It's completely up to you.
Yeah, you got to make that work on your own. I had one guy, I told him 6 or 7 dates, so he just immediately asked for the next date at the end of the date we were on. And then I was like, I had to do it because I put a timeline on it. Don't put a timeline on it. Just decide when you're ready. There's no best time frame. It's up to you. For me, 90 days was too long.
Waiting can have some value. Waiting can weed things out. Waiting can let you know some things you need to know about other people. There's some value in that.
We wanted to see if our lifestyles could mesh. So I took my dog to his house, and the cat and dog just kind of stayed apart and no fighting. We wanted to see how we both lived. He wanted me to meet his friends. I wanted him to meet my daughter. There was a lot of things that we decided we would put into the equation before we just launched that part of the relationship. Let's see. Anything else? Did we see everything? La la. Da, da. Oh, thanks for subscribing to the YouTube. Who is your daughter on here? No, I better not. She'll be upset with me. If she okays it, I'll put a link up at some point, but she's very especially shy and private. So, yeah, probably not. I just started to date and I was married 46 years. Oh, baby. And you're a widow. So it's all about handling that loss, and he can speak to that better than me.
Don't compare this to the past. It's a new life. It's a new adventure. It's a completely new person. You're going to have hopefully some things in common and some similarities, but I think it was really important for when I was married for 31 years and then lost her suddenly to move on to new possibilities and new thoughts and not try to specifically replace that person.
Yeah, I think that's the key. My first divorce was painful and I lost my first love. And so I went exactly the opposite in the second marriage and found it just wasn't going to work. So this time around, I'm A, not planning on marriage, but B, I'm just looking to be with someone that's 100% accepting of who I am. There are some things I'm sure that I do that he kind of cringes, but he never says a word, and he just...
You take the good with the bad, folks. You take the good with the bad. That's how it works.
He doesn't have any bad, so... Thank you. I was 21, and this is all new and scary. Yeah, I was 21 the first time around, 51 when we separated. It's like a death. You don't lose the person from life, but you lose that life, and it's very hard. So take it slow would be my advice. Maybe date a widower, not a divorcee. A widower is going to be more...
At 21?
Well, no, she was with her guy since she was 21, and they were together 46 years, and now he's gone. I would pick a widower if it were me, just because they're going to relate to that part. And it all depends on how long you've been alone, how much you can handle.
Just an open mind, folks. It just keeps going back to that. And it's one thing to say that, and another thing to actually have that in your mind and heart so that you can really be open to what comes towards you.
And if the wife is gone, less money issues. What? Oh, I see where you're going with that. Okay, yeah, in a way, because divorce is kind of nasty. And one guy I dated that was divorced, he was always having problems with the ex. But the widower had to deal with a wife with cancer for 2 years, and
I have a living trust that'll just drive people nuts if you want to look into the past on that, and that's from a widower, so it's a problem too.
you know, it's always going to be an issue. So it's kind of why I set my life up to be independent, financially independent. I have my businesses, and I just do my thing. Someone asked what bad. I'm not going to let him say because I don't want to know. Let's see. What else? Thank you. Yeah, okay. Where does it go from here? Wherever it goes. We're just finding we love each other more every day, and we're having a ton of fun. And we like to do all kinds of things. I'm 65, about 40 pounds overweight, which makes me self-conscious about trying to date. 40 pounds is not that bad.
Guess what? There's a bunch of guys 40 pounds overweight that would probably fit just right. There's somebody for everybody. And don't pre-think it. That's the problem we do. We do all this pre-calculating and thinking about what people are going to think, how they're going to react, what they're going to think of me. And trust me, they're usually not worried about you because they're worried about themselves. And so,
yeah, I have tons of things. Like, I wear wigs.
She gets into so much stuff, I don't even think about it. I didn't even think about it until she brought it up.
Well, he now has seen most of my wig repertoire, but he also has seen my head without a wig. Yeah, whatever. And of course, we've been together, and he's seen what happens to the hair without a wig in the first thing in the morning when I look like a porcupine. How could you not love him? Okay, is Michael a doctor? No. He's a former bartender and an inventor. He's an amazing inventor. Feet. Fur. I'm adorable and funny, though. Of course, that's the thing. Everybody has something special. And
that's very important.
Lots of guys like cushioning. My clients that are 40 pounds overweight, they're curvy. They look good. We try to keep the curves, just bring it down a tad. Okay, feet. I have no idea what that means. I think we're pretty much done, unless anybody has... What is the oldest match you know? I don't know. Haven't gone that far. Makes me self-conscious about trying to date. Yeah, the 40 pounds. I wouldn't even worry. I would work out, and I would,
Here's an issue about that. You're worried about the 40 pounds. Guess what? The guy is worried about a handful of things he's not telling you about, or this or that. We all have those issues, especially the older we get, or even when you're younger. There's no perfect people running around. And what happens is when a person learns to like you more for yourself than for whatever the superficial issues are, those things just kind of go away. They did with Deb and I. We kind of blew right past a couple of issues because we kind of liked the person a lot. And so that happens. That's the nature of life, folks.
And the going slow let us learn how much we liked each other, because the tension of, oh my God, am I going to have to go to bed now, goes away. So we're really promoting that for people that are comfortable.
There's no perfect people running around, including, there just isn't that person out there. So have a little more faith, have a little more confidence, a little more guts, and just maybe another drink. I don't know what.
No, we don't want a lot of drinks. None of the alcohol.
Cut that part.
Take that out.
2 drinks.
Oh, he likes the 2 drinks. Okay, what else is on here? La 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 la, na 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 na. Okay, guys, what random stranger has had the biggest impact on your life?
Well, that's a strange question.
Interesting.
What random stranger?
I'll let him talk.
I'm gonna have to think about it for a while. I don't. The 3.5 million people I met in the bars.
Yeah. I don't think I have had a random stranger that's had a major impact, because people are rarely strangers for very long to me. I'm not like him. I haven't met 3.5 million people, but I've met thousands upon thousands because of my different jobs and
If she
careers.
walks the dog and goes down the street, she has 2 new dates with people kayaking and things.
2 new friends. He was with me. I just picked up a neighbor to go kayaking.
Shy, she's not.
And she took us in her garage and showed us her fold-up kayaks. And I'm like,
cool.
yeah. So, yeah, I can't answer that one. This feed keeps freezing. Sorry, kids. It's My internet, can't tell ya. Blah, 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 blah. Boo, boo, boo. Oh, there's Green Gators. I remember him. Okay, so we kind of went through everything, but a lot of people are joining. I have a feeling we're spicy. Yeah, you know, when you're old, you get to be spicy.
Well, you pull the brakes off. You know, like, why not? You know.
Hey, that's part of life.
What's anybody going to do to me? You know.
Right, exactly. My mom can't send me to bed or whatever.
But we're not shy by nature. That's part of what's really probably evident here. But we have people talking, interacting backgrounds. And so that helped us a lot in this entire dating process, in the chatting, in the weeding out, in the having fun, in the getting through the whole process. And so I just want people to take a step and then just see what happens. And then if it sucks, take another step. You know, so that's just how it works.
If it sucks, there's a lot of them that are going to suck. I did a couple TikToks on guys I just said goodbye to, like, really fast. And it's okay, because you're not going to get 100% wonderful dates. You're going to have some duds.
I was a little bothered by the lady that kept pointing out that she was carrying a gun. You know, so
what?
That's another long story, but
that's a true story.
It's a true.
I thought I was doing a joke.
You know, I'm not telling you.
She told you she was carrying a gun
3 times.
Oh, because she was Dateline. She was afraid.
Well, she was concerned. Yes.
Oh my God. Live together, marriage in the future. We don't know. We're not saying never. We're just saying whatever. You know, I didn't get on dating sites to find my next husband, so that's something that I really had a strong feeling about. You don't get on dating sites to find your next spouse. I just wanted someone to have some fun with and go places with.
Finding the spouse will happen naturally by just dealing with the dating, you know, but one of the problems with dating is in the initial part, you throw off onto them, do I want to marry this person? Excuse me, you don't even know what their favorite color is, you know, or anything else about them. It takes some time to get to know the people.
Oh, are you two good dancers? I don't know, but we're going to prom on Saturday night. His yacht club's having a prom.
I'm paying more for the rental on my jacket than I paid for my first car.
But he's wearing a really cool jacket. It's okay. White with black piping and with a black cowboy hat. We're going to be so cool. Why not? Don't you want a long-term commitment? Oh, we have a long-term commitment. We've committed to be together a year from now. And we got off all the other we closed our profiles on dating sites. So we're in it for the long haul. And we look at where we are and we look at things we want to address, and it works.
Marriage tends not to be the first thing on your mind at this age because it gets a little complex. And if things change and you move towards that, that's just fine. If they don't and they stay like that, it's just fine too. And so that's just where we're at.
So let's see, swingers. No. Never, baby. Never wanted to do that. Okay, What are good dating sites? Okay, so eHarmony, Zoosk, Silver Singles. And yours? Match?
I was going to throw out 3 jokes there, and I didn't decide to hold back. I found her on Silver Singles. I found Silver Singles. The people are a little more advanced, a little more mature, a little more educated, a little. There was a better group of people.
I agree. I used Zoosk, and I kept saying I do not want anybody that didn't go to college or graduate college. They kept sending me like way below college grads, and all the wrong locations and just no match. They didn't bother to use my filters whatsoever. So a good dating site is the one that pays attention to what you want and sends that to you. And you got to experiment, because I think they change periodically. They might change their algorithms. They might change, and different people get on the site at different times. That's why some people stay on a lot longer. I only stayed on 2 months at any one site because I would get bored. I'd see the same guys on 3 different sites, the same pictures. If you're going to move around on sites, use a different picture. And don't take a selfie in the bathroom.
That is a problem.
Gross.
Yeah, selfies, what a whole interesting thing that is. I'm new at it. So. I'm a professional photographer, and so I do it differently. So.
He does it very differently. So, Okay, let me think. What are good dating sites? I think we're done. But probably eHarmony was good. Yeah, they were okay. Twins been married 5 times. Told her find someone. Oh, that's funny. Bad Live. Apparently we're having a problem with the reception in this room, but we did it before and it came out fine. So it might be our internet, but I think we're going to sign off. And yeah, we were both married before. He's a widower. I'm divorced. Hello, happy couple. Hello and thanks. Yeah, Silver Singles. Silver Singles is where we met. I'm going to go ahead and turn this little puppy off. If I can figure out where the power button is this time. And it'll be posted up on my YouTube